Welcome to the RV Homestead Texas. It is Saturday morning. Last Saturday. For you, it was last Saturday. We have two vehicles. There's some guys. Some guys are working. They're actually going to be putting in the shower doors. They're right now working on replacing the window panes that were cracked. So they're going to be taking care of that. And that. All right. We have to go shopping. So we'll check back. I'll check back in later today. Good morning. Good Monday morning. I didn't check in Saturday because I was tractoring. They worked. They actually did some stuff on Saturday. We are supposedly not. I know I said this last week. It's Monday. We're supposed to have a septic crew here today. We'll see. So I've been working on the dog's yard and tracking down, finding gutter downspout adapters. We have these square 4-inch by 4-inch square. Well, it's going to be interesting connecting that to down to drainage. It's going to be interesting connecting that to some ground drainage because it's so close to the end of this. It's so close to the slab, and we set back a couple inches. Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting. I find you can't get those connectors. You can only find those on Amazon that I'm aware of. All right, the big reveal. We should have the second coat on the floor this week. We have backsplash. Yeah. The windows have been the cracked panes. They were replaced. They had to go all out, and this one, they had to bust it out. It didn't want to leave. Then we go through the utility room, the master bedroom, glass on the shower walls. We did discover a mistake somebody made. Right there. There's a screw. Whoops. And then the reason there's that screw is from, she wanted the mirror lower. And we have glass there. We should be seeing, hopefully we're seeing the plumber today. to put in our rain shower head. I'm moving the burn pile. No, I'm not moving the burn pile. So every time when I'm clearing the Yopon holly, I dig it up and push it up here, and then I burn it. Well, there's still a lot of soil in the root mass, and it has built up to a lot. That's a big pile of humate, burned organic matter. Should be very fertile. Good Friday morning. We have men working. They're here taking care of some small details. Actually finishing up the small details. Not the big details. That's for next week. It's what we've been told anyway. So I'm not going to go in here and bug them. We'll do a final recap. We'll do a weekly recap tomorrow morning. So just before you see this video, we'll have done a recap. Meanwhile, I got projects and boxes to open. It's the end of the week. Sun is coming up. We still don't have any concrete. There should be an approach here. Although we did get some of our old remaining form work taken up. The carpenter, painter, crew, they're done. We're literally down to 4 projects, 4 remaining items. You see all the water coming off the roof. That's condensation on the roof. This is condensation from the air conditioner. Yeah, that's not permanent. I just did that as a temporary measure. I have plans for that water. But I didn't want it, and I didn't want it going into the septic. So we had an issue earlier in the week. Monday, Tuesday, I realized that the air conditioner was not working. And I went up into the attic space and found that the drain pan was almost overflowing. And I looked at the setup, and I may show that to you at some point. But anyway, there's a little float switch. So I discovered that the drain pan is the primary. So the water comes out and it goes into a little sump pump that sits in that emergency overflow pan. And that little sump pump had stopped pumping. Well, that's the discharge for that little sump pump. There's a float switch that shuts the whole system down when the pan is full, and apparently the little sump pump was wired incorrectly, so it wasn't pumping. And then I realized there's actually no emergency drain. That little float switch was the only thing protecting the house from an overflowing pan. I said, that's not going to fly. I need an emergency overflow. And they said, well, that would have to drill a hole through the wall on the patio. I'm like, great, that way I'll know it's an emergency overflow. So we ended up with the emergency is right there. It needs to be a little further out, but because I don't want it dripping on the window, it doesn't do me any good. But that's just a piece of PVC pipe. So, was working on the downspout project, and I needed to clarify. I have only been able to find one supplier, and that's a guy on Amazon that I think is doing a 3D printed adapter, and it costs about, with shipping, about $20 a piece. So I needed what? I need 6. Technically, I only need 5 because I have one dummy, the very forward downspout. It doesn't, no water flows through there. It's capped off. It's just for cosmetics. But I literally have driven to Palestine and visited all the retailers. No one is carrying an adapter for these square downspouts, which I find amazing because this is not like a special product. This is a commercial supplied by the same company that supplies the R panel, the building material. Why is it that there's not an adapter? How do they do it on a commercial setting? Anyway, here's how Dude RV did it. I bought some thin wall PVC and using a little propane heater, heated up, built a jig, and just molded the PVC pipe. So I have the 5. Now I just have to cut the downspout because they're long enough that I'll be able to kick it out and get past the edge of the slab down there. Can't do that until we actually own the building, until that's all signed off. And that won't happen until we have a septic system. But here's the rundown for this week. We are still waiting on the final seal coat on the floor. Kitchen done, with the exception of cleaning up. And I think we may work on that a little today. The electrician came in and finished the trim out. He readjusted the fan. The carpenter guys came in and cleaned off most of the stickers on the glass and all of the stuff that was protecting that. Got door stops put in place on most of the house. So, yeah. We had all the cabinets touched up so that they are nice and pretty now. They actually had to replace this door. The styles split. Door stop. That actually could be adjusted to go a little bit further. We have our glass enclosures done. I'm going to be reworking this. I didn't want to make it any more complicated for the plumber than necessary, but I've got a diverter setup I'm going to put in here so that you can have a handheld shower wand. And then we have all of that's tended to. All of this is tended to. Door stop there. And Yappy, she's tired of waiting. We're gonna fill up that closet. Got our glass door in. Y'all haven't seen that. That was covered. Sticker there. It's weird, we don't get any, we don't hear the chimes inside. All right, sorry, I've got a chime that'll be plugged into the wall. Have our door locks. Still have a lot of trash to be hauled off. Yeah, I'm tired of waiting too. Anyway, we are if we can take the plastic off the door. So we are done with this weekly update. Still waiting on septic. Okay, so I had some comments on the last video pertaining to the subs. I got really bad subs. Okay, we hired a company that does most trades in-house. It's not an issue with the craftsman. Now there are some subs, the floor, the septic, the propane, the electric, all the electric supply. So putting in the meter, putting in the propane, those were done by the utility providers. The electrician, the carpenters, the painters, the metal guys, those are all in-house for the one company. The floors, that's an independent, that's a contractor. The insulation guys that made the mess all over the patio, they were subs, but apparently they're the only subs that he uses for that project. Speaking of, we found out it's going to cost about $8 grand to fix, to refinish what they blasted off. Anyway, we priced out with another flooring cement finishing company. It's going to cost about $8,000 to put a overlay on top of this to cover the orange spots and the blasted out pieces of concrete. So we have a conversation with the builder about that in work. Anyway, so the septic company, that's the biggest sub. Apparently they got a new person that forgot that we had a septic going in, and so it didn't get put on the schedule 3 weeks ago, and then, oh yeah, we forgot to do it again. Oh, we didn't order the septic people, apparently it's a guy that's been doing it forever here, but yeah, they kind of dropped the ball on our septic project. Anyway, we're very pleased with all of the craftsmanship that has gone into our structure, our building, our home. There's a couple of things that have been frustrating for us. Mostly it's timeline, because we're not the only job. but we're almost there. We're close enough that I feel confident in saying we'll be there by the next update, next Saturday, this next coming Saturday. Cross fingers that we are going to actually have those 4 projects done. So the 4 projects: the cement in the front, the approach, the septic, shower head in the hall, and a hydrant outside on the north side of the building. So we'll have a hydrant on both sides of the building. And then we are officially done with the Barndo build. We will still have to do the drive, the driveway. We need more slag. And then we have to move in July. I guess that's better than moving in August. But we're done for this week. Next week, hopefully we'll be talking about a septic system, showing you some concrete, and showing you some stuff inside. But for now, we're done. If you're still with me at this point, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for watching our weekly update. If you've not already, I'd be most honored if you'd consider clicking on the subscribe button. That really helps with a small channel, and we need all the help we can get. For those of you who have been following along, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your attention. And for our patrons, your generosity, we truly appreciate it. Thank you very much. You guys rock. All right, we'll see y'all next week.